Hey, oh, hey there, fraud and audit friends and family. Welcome to the Friday Fraudster. Listen. A workplace injury, they happen. A compensation claim, that happens. But what if the recovery seemed kind of, selective? Wink, wink. This week, we're going to talk about a case where the story didn't quite add up. So let me ask, when does recovery turn into opportunity? And then when do insurance providers decide to take a closer look? Because sometimes the biggest clue, it isn't in the paperwork, it's right there in plain sight. So that's what we're going to talk about today on the Friday Fraudster. Are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome to the Friday Fraudster podcast. Join them as they discuss sad, funny, and sometimes disturbing fraud stories. Be sure to catch past episodes on your favorite podcasting platform or go to www.fridayfraudster.com.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us this week. Okay, so I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I just have some news. So, yeah, it's just some news. Some news is Christine won't be here with us this week. She messaged me and she said, hey, something happened. And then when she told me what happened, it's not a bad thing, you guys, work-related stuff. I said, yeah, you probably should handle that first because, Friday Fraudster doesn't pay you. But here's the other news. The other news is I was able to get somebody else, because we need co-hosts on here with me because no one wants me to have free reign on a fraud show. I mean, would you guys actually come here just to watch me if it were me by myself? Would you actually come? Stephanie from Idaho, would you actually come if it was just me? And then this is from Colorado. Let me cheat and see who this is. This is Carol. Hey, Carol, it's been a while. Would you actually come here if it was just me? Probably not. So that's why my special guest today is, drumroll, Thomas.
Wait, I'm not getting paid for this? I'm out. Never mind.
I mean, we could pay you in Frito-Lay chips. Yeah. You got, just hold on tight. You guys will get that joke later. Don't you hate it when people make jokes and then they don't make any sense to you? But this one, you will get it from in a little bit. Gail, what's going on, Gail? We got to catch up. I've been wondering how you've been. Gail from Barbados is here. Amber is here again. Amber, you know what, Amber? I'm glad you started watching live. Amber said she used to watch the recordings, I guess because she could skip past all my BS, but now we can do it live.
Skip that joke, skip that joke, skip that joke.
I know, right? Now, Carol said she would listen if it was just me. I appreciate that, Carol. And I promise I did not pay Carol to say that. I promise you. Wait a minute. Somebody said, let me see, who is that? Stephanie said she's here just for me. I did pay her to say that. Wait a minute. Now, Kay is here. I see Kay on my phone, but I don't see her in my... Kay said happy Friday from Washington, but for some reason, it's not pulling up here in the background. Kimberly is here. Man, we got a lot of people here this week, man.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's just me.
Look, I think they all came because they thought Christine was going to be here, and so it's never just for me.
Yeah, the knowledge level drops when she's not here.
Yeah, it does. Gail said you thought you were getting paid, huh, Thomas? Okay, so look. I got a question for everybody. I got a question. We always start off with a question, and oftentimes the question is somewhat related, and you guys have to figure out how it's related. But Thomas, I got a question for you and for everyone else.
Let's hear it.
What's your favorite potato chip?
Doritos. Just good old Doritos. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I don't even have to hesitate on that one. Doritos in a heartbeat.
Okay.
What's yours?
I can see that. Yeah.
What are yours?
What? Well, wait. What do you like about Doritos, man? What's the thing that really draws you to Doritos? Let's dig down here.
Because they taste good.
Okay, because they well, here's the thing with Doritos though. When you
Yep.
eat them, you gotta lick your fingers afterwards because they leave all the
That's
residue
just
and stuff.
that's just added flavor. I'm good with that.
Okay, just added flavor. Okay, so now you asked what was mine. Um, hmm, I really don't know anymore, and here's why. Here's why.
No. You got to pick one. Come on now.
Okay, I'm going somewhere with this though. So I used to like anything that was like, uh, um, what's the salt and vinegar potato chips? I didn't care which brand it was.
Yep.
Here's the problem. 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, I found out I was lactose intolerant. Well, a lot of the potato chips have dairy in them. Who the heck puts dairy in potato chips? So
Interesting.
I've had to go around and find a new favorite brand of potato chips. So I literally have to look on the back. And so
Yep.
now, what's the brand? The kettle chip brand.
Okay. Yeah, I know
A
what you.
lot of
I don't remember
those,
the brand name, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of those don't have dairy in them. And so I pick up the barbecue and then the vinegar and salt.
Gotcha.
But I kind of lost my love for vinegar and salt because I
Yeah.
had gone so long without them.
Sure.
Um, so I'm searching for a new favorite potato chip. And here's the one that really made me mad. I really like Funyuns. Okay, I know that's not technically a potato chip, but same family, right?
It's a chip. Yep.
I had to stop eating Funyuns because they have dairy in them. It just hurt me.
I'm just thinking of a absolutely terrible movie from late '90s, early 2000s, where a bunch of stoner guys is trying to get a bunch of munchies, and they're asking what everybody wants. One of the guys is like, "And Funyuns, yeah." But sorry,
Ooh,
I'm
you
going to
know what?
quote weird obscure movies from time to time.
You know what? That was what was that? That was
Come on,
oh man.
Half Baked.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. I was about to say Up in Smoke, but that was the Snoop Dogg tour with Dr. Dre and 50 Cent and all of those. Yeah, Half Baked. That's right. Okay.
Now
So
it's funny you
listen.
talking about like having to change what kind of chips you drink, because one thing that we've done in my family is I don't know, you can't see it, it's kind of blurred, but drinking the zero sugar sodas. And I've Mountain Dew was my go-to for a very long time. So trying to do less calories, less sugar, and all the zero sugar Mountain Dew is one that I've had to change to. And it took a little bit to get used to the different flavor, but now I'm so used to it. So yeah, it's funny how like as we get older, you just have to change things a little bit, but you can get used to it eventually.
Yeah. Okay. So Carol is saying Lay's sour. Oh, I remember Lay's sour cream and onion. Those used to be so good. Now, Stephanie, I think this is Stephanie, said here for the comedy. Let me take a look. Wait, I'm not even trying to be funny. Is that oh, you know what, Gail? Forgot about Pringles. Let me tell you, Pringles used to be my favorite, but here was the problem. They were so darn expensive and I was poor. So
This is the truth. Yep.
Pringles are pretty cheap now. Now Kimberly says that she likes barbecue.
Now I will do the baked Lay's barbecue. So whenever I'm trying to be a little bit more healthy, getting baked, I'll do the barbecue. So yeah, I'm with you there, Kimberly.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Everybody loves potato chips. I mean, they're easy to carry as a snack as long as you don't sit on the bag. They're
Or
light.
or if you're driving through Denver or something like that, and you're hitting a whole bunch of elevation changes, and all of a sudden you hear a pop in the back of the car.
Oh, now that's bad. That is bad.
Yes, it
Really,
was.
really bad. Yeah. I got a chip on my shoulder right now. Darn fruit flies are in here making me mad. But oh wait, okay. Here we go. This has got to be. Oh, this is Stephanie. I thought this would have been K. I love Juanitas or Juanita. One. You know, I can't say that. Depending on your state, yeah. Those are the little. Hold on. You know what? This is an interesting one here because let's see.
Oh,
This
okay.
snack.
I had to Google it.
Yeah,
I didn't recognize the name, but all right.
I'm googling it right now so that I can pull it up for people. Hold on. Darn it. All I keep getting is the restaurant, not the snack. Okay, hold on. We're going somewhere with this snack talk, you guys. Here they are. Okay. So
We're
let's
making
see.
everybody hungry.
Yeah, well, I am hungry, so like I'm very hungry, like starving.
This is
I
not a
forgot
good
about
story
these.
then for you.
These are awesome. I forgot about these.
Yeah. Yep.
Kay is saying that she's on keto, so prefer the chips. Ah. Okay, that was funny. So sun
That
chips
was
or
good.
Cheetos. That was funny.
Sun
Um,
chips I like. I like the what is it, like cheddar cheese or something like that. Sun chips. Those are good.
yeah, I like sun chips too. So look, now some of you guys might know a little bit about my auditing history. Back in the day, I used to work for this grocery chain called Winn-Dixie. And when I worked for Winn-Dixie, we had private label crackers, cookies, potato chips, snacks, ice cream, pizza, stuff like that. And the brand name was Crackin' Good Cookies and Snacks. And so we used to get Crackin' Good cookies, and sometimes they would let us get the Crackin' Good snacks. We went to the warehouse and we would audit the warehouses and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to show you my ignorance because, well, I can be full of ignorance sometimes. But young in my career, this is one of my first jobs right out of college. I remember going to the warehouse and I remember seeing these huge forklifts and everything in the warehouse for the potato chips. And I remember thinking to myself, how hard can it be to lift a pallet full of potato chips?
Young and dumb.
Look, I was like 23 years old, straight out of college. And I was like, it's just potato chips. They don't weigh anything. Okay. Just me. Anybody else have that thought now that I put it in your head? Anybody? Or is it still just me?
I
Okay.
think it's just you.
But seriously, how much could a pallet of potato chips actually weigh?
I will say that a whole case of potato chips, you lift it up and it doesn't feel that heavy. So multiply that by however many boxes are on a pallet. I can get there. I got you.
See? Did- but this was 23-year-old me.
Yep.
You know, walking through the warehouse looking at the crackers and cookies and potato chips. So that is why when I saw today's story, it took me back to my memories of a kid straight out of college, and I just had to laugh. And when I sent the story to Thomas and Christine, I don't know if you all laughed as hard as I did, but I laughed a whole lot, and I shouldn't have. I'm so sorry. So okay, so listen, a trucker, Michael Bishop, October 17th of 2022, he reported an injury while working as a long haul truck driver in the PepsiCo Frito-Lay facility. He claims to have injured his left neck and shoulder while lifting heavy boxes.
Okay, I'm going to pause you right there for a second because the way it was written, that article was written, I read left neck and I didn't see the and shoulder part yet. I saw left neck. I'm like, how many necks does he have? How does he have a left neck? But
I was I was gonna go there if nobody caught that, right? Because
left neck and shoulder. So the left part of his upper extremity here. All right.
so Kay caught on to the joke that I was alluding to. A ton of chips weighs the same as a ton of bricks, no? Right? Oh man. Hey, Michael, what's happening, man? We got to catch up. It's been. I know I say that to everybody that comes on.
you're
What is?
you're behind on catching up with everybody.
Well, I'm real behind. Like I'll send people messages on occasion. Hey, man, hope you're doing well. But I am so swamped right now. I don't even know what my name is. So okay, but yeah, K got it. K got it. A ton of chips weighs the same as a ton of bricks, right? But but yeah, so this trucker, he injured himself, and he was a long haul trucker for the Frito Lay facility. Um, Medical professionals in late 2022, they diagnosed him with cervical spine injury, and they cleared him for modified duty, meaning he wasn't going to be driving, he wasn't going to lift anything heavy, and usually that's like office duty. You're gonna be sitting in the office.
I was going to
You ever
say
been on
something, but I'm going to
modified
wait.
duty?
I'm going to wait for more details to come out before I start questioning some of this article. But yeah, keep going.
So so then in early 2023, he exhausted his 90-day period of light duty work, and at that point his employer placed him on TTD, temporary total disability. And so now a lot of people like TTD because you can not work and still get paid. You're not going to get paid your full rate, but you still get some money, and some money is better than no money.
Actually, this says TTD, at least in Connecticut, it's a wage replacement benefit. So yeah, I think it is a full replacement there.
Oh, that's right. He was in Connecticut. You're right.
Nope.
You're right. This is why they don't let me talk a whole lot, because I get everything wrong. Look, Gail's got it. Gail said the
Thank
left
you.
neck jumped out on her too, right? Because I was reading it and I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep this in because I'm going to see if anybody else gets the reaction that I got at first. I was like, left neck? Left?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was really weirdly written.
Okay, so now he's on this TTD, and this is early 2023. So by September of 2023, a claims management service company. So before we even go into that, let's talk about this. When you are placed on some sort of leave because of a work injury, you should really be injured, right? Like you shouldn't fake an injury. And so sometimes the company will hire another company to investigate you and follow you around. And so this is what happened with this gentleman. They began surveilling him to assess whether he was adhering to the physical limitations set by his physician. Turns out he kind of wasn't. They saw him doing things that someone with his type of injury probably should not have been doing. And so because of that, he was, well, arrested. You know what? Before we even get to the arrest, hold on. Before he got arrested, they gave him a chance to come back to work. And after he came back to work, they terminated him. I'm assuming maybe because he was still complaining and things like that. But he was eventually arrested by inspectors from the Workers' Compensation Fraud Control Unit after being accused of illegally collecting $18,000 in workers' compensation benefits. All right, what say you, Thomas?
There's just so much. Like, first off, the fact that they have an entire division focused on workers' comp fraudulent claims is so sad, right? Like that's one of those you wish it didn't even need to exist. But also going through all of this, and so this sounds bad, but it's we always joke in this in my house. My wife is a former accountant and such, and we hear about different fraudulent events, and I tell her about the show and stuff, and we always joke, if you're going to steal big, or if you're going to steal big, still big enough that you can easily go to a non-extradite country, right? Don't go small. And the fact that all of this and all of this work and all of the effort and all the paperwork and everything you had to do, and it was $18,000. And that's not, that's not nothing, but it just seems like a whole lot of effort for a very little amount of compensation here. And it just doesn't seem worth the effort. That was one of the first things that jumped out to me.
Well, here's where it gets real interesting. Okay. So this is Kay again. She said, let me guess. He was caught helping a friend hauling a mattress or something while collecting benefits. Oh, it gets better than that, Kay. Wait until you hear what he was caught doing. I saved that part for a minute. The gal said at least he didn't come back to work and hurt us right neck. You know what? That reminds me. Okay. I'm probably dating myself again. Yes, I'm old, but some of you might remember this old movie, Friday, with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. And they had this crackhead. No, but I was going to a different spot. Remember the crackhead in the convenience store? The crackhead was named Ezel, and Ezel was trying to do a slip and fall in the convenience store. So he politely laid down on the ground and he said, "Oh, my neck, oh, my back, oh, my neck and my back." Okay. So check this out. This is what this gentleman was caught doing. And it says, okay, there must be more, because the reports we said that they witnessed him engaging in activities such as, and so they only named a few, right?
Yep.
Operating an ATV. So this man was on an all-terrain vehicle. That's one thing. Lifting an object onto a dolly and loading heavy equipment onto a truck. So back to Kay's point, he may have been helping a friend move.
Well, loading heavy equipment onto a truck sure sounds like the job that he says he can't do.
So I'm thinking he may have been double dipping. Like he may have been collecting his check from the one job and he may have had another side job probably where he was being paid cash under the table. But the ATV vehicle, that one's got me.
It doesn't say how old he is. Did it give an age? I don't remember. Oh, it says 44-year-old. Okay, so he was 44 whenever he was taken into custody. I'm 45, and it hurts. Or actually, I'm almost 45. I'm 44 now. I'm turning 45 very soon, and it hurts thinking about riding on an ATV, let alone riding on one when you have a back and neck problems. So yeah, that's very questionable all by itself.
Look, when I saw that and his age, I thought the same thing. Because look, I'm 51, and it just hurts thinking.
Nope.
Oh, so yeah, he was on an ATV vehicle, or I guess an ATV. Sorry, that's redundant, right? All-terrain vehicle. He was on an ATV. He was lifting heavy objects. Well, actually, it said lifting an object onto a dolly and then loading heavy equipment onto a truck. And it says these activities that Bishop allegedly performed. You know what? Okay, let me just stop for a moment. I'm always intrigued by the use of the word allegedly. I use it sometimes to protect myself when I don't know something is true. But if you've got pictures and video of him lifting these things onto a heavy truck, why is it allegedly? Anyway, it said that these activities that he allegedly performed were inconsistent with the physical limitations reported to his healthcare provider. That's a real nice way of saying he's scamming.
Yeah. And so going back, what I was biting my tongue on earlier, talking about how he went to the doctors, and it said that doctors did diagnose him, and what was it? A cervical spine injury. Yeah. I've got questions. Like was he did he really get diagnosed with that? Was there something questionable there? Did he falsify some kind of a doctor's report? Like, because I mean, if you have a cervical spine injury, that's a pretty serious injury you've got going on.
Yep. So I'm glad that you brought that up
You're welcome.
because so so I started looking into it in all seriousness. It is an extremely serious injury, but apparently you get like CT scans and MRIs just to make sure that it is what it is. So that part kind of confused me because it's not like they said he had a back strain or a simple back injury. You can fake that. You be, oh, my back hurts, and then when they touch and say, "Does this hurt here?" You just jump up. Yes, that hurts. Um, I almost wondered, was this a scam that involves more than just him?
Right.
And, like, were there doctors in on it who got paid? Were there pain management clinics who maybe got paid for the physical therapy treatments? Because with the cervical spine injury, he should have been going to physical therapy as well, which means the doctors would have been paid periodically for the physical therapy visits. Did he actually go to the physical therapy visits? Or if he was in bed with the doctors, maybe he didn't and they just billed it. Like my whole, I went down this rabbit hole of looking up this injury and what it entailed and how bad it really was.
And if it's a bad injury, if it's not just a minor little tweak, but if it is a serious injury, which if you're going on workers' comp, odds are extended workers' comp, odds are is a major injury. This a quick Google search of it says it takes about 18 months to fully recover from this, and it was less than that before he got caught. So yeah, the details after the fact and the details at the front, just from a doctor's perspective, is very strange.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, this is Case said he was caught horseback riding while fleeing the photographer he noticed was watching him. No,
What is that a quote from? That's either a movie or a headline that was kind of recent. That rings a bell.
Oh, does
and
it?
I can't name it right now. It does. That totally rings a bell.
It doesn't ring a bell with me. Maybe she'll let us know. But I really did go right where you went with this. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, this thing takes 18 months to heal from. You were still doing all of those things so quickly afterwards. I get it. Okay, he was a bit older. Maybe he didn't like the job. Dude, and truck drivers, let's just be real. It's a really good paying job and it's a really necessary job. But people oftentimes treat truckers, to me, unfairly.
Oh,
They don't get
absolutely.
treated that well. And I don't get it because that's an important job for the infrastructure of our country.
Well, it's a vital job. Absolutely, it's a vital
Yeah.
job. And then they aren't treated right, and you see people cutting off 18 wheelers and such on the freeways, and no, I completely agree. No, the jobs like that are the jobs that they don't get much glory, they don't get a lot of praise, but we couldn't function without them.
Yep. I think we learned some of that during COVID.
And also when the ports got shut down with some of the strikes, we were noticing
Oh,
that too.
yeah. So, but yeah, this one was a very interesting one, and it's it. I have a feeling that there's more to the paper trail than meets the eye. You know what though? Speaking of paper trails, auditors, we always have to have a really good paper trail. I remember when I first started my auditing career, we would literally carry around a bunch of work papers in duffel bags. But nowadays, we have a lot of systems that can help with that. We have audit management platforms that keep us from carrying around all these bunches and bunches of paperwork. And with that said, let's take a commercial break because I know of a really good audit management platform that someone has. Thomas, talk to the people about IA Stream.
Well, it's definitely not a duffel bag full of papers. I can tell you that. Yeah, IA Stream. It's an online platform built for small and mid-sized internal audit departments. I can't get away from duffel bag, but it also is. It's a great tool to be able to manage your audits, to be able to conduct both SOX and non-SOX. Really manage your audit team. You can see the audit schedule. You can see any kind of audit issues going on as well that I help build. And it is now powered very strongly by Audit Leverage. So you have a great AI tool that is going to really support your audits and help train your team.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Thomas. You know, we got to bring you guys the latest and greatest products on this podcast as well. Now, Kay is saying she thought that it was straight out of her head. She could just picture the stupidity because of the scam. Yeah. Because you know what? Okay. Let's talk about this for just 1 minute. Because think about this. I really want you to think really hard about this. I'm glad you mentioned that it was full replacement, Thomas, because he was essentially getting the equivalent of his salary. And you mean to tell me you couldn't just sit at home and do something like start a YouTube channel or something that didn't require any kind of stress and just collect the money?
Yeah, it's possible, isn't it? We hear it so often, right? And I mean, that's why they have this kind of investigative team out there. And and even taking a step back from there, thinking about it from a company standpoint, and now Pepsi Frito-Lay is a massive company, right? I mean, they have so many different product lines and divisions that are out there. They're massive. But just in businesses in general, if you know that there is a division that is specifically watching for a type of fraud, in this case, workers' comp fraud, but if you know that kind of thing exists, you need to have internal controls and you need to have something in your audit plan that's going to also look into this, because you'd much rather find it yourself than have it hit the front page news of some kind of a fraud event that happened.
Yep. Yeah, it is crazy. So yeah, this one really threw me for a loop, because you hear these stories about investigators who look for specifically this type of fraud. People who are out on some sort of medical leave. You have insurance investigators who try to make sure that they aren't doing things, and you always find them lifting a heavy box or doing something like that. This man got full replacement salary and still felt the need to try to scam the system, or couldn't just sit out. Let's just say if he was injured, because here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking at some point there probably was a small injury, because doggone it, the older you get, sometimes you can injure something just sneezing,
Absolutely. Yeah. I do not doubt that he felt pain at some sort. I am not doubting that at all.
Yeah. But then at some point he said, well, I'm sitting at home. I don't have anything to do. I might as well go and get my ATV and ride it while I'm out on disability. Like, I just don't.
How dare you?
Like, that one just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
No. Yeah, I agree.
Marsha, what's happening? Marsha's not on YouTube today. She's on LinkedIn. All right, so I think this is Kay. I don't know. It's not pulling up for me. Maybe the guy was getting back with the vendors for all the junk food he may have been addicted to. So what are you saying? Maybe he was a fat kid? Oh, dog, I'm going to get canceled for saying that. Maybe he had some repressed memories or something like that. Hey, look, I'm not going to lie. I had a whole lot of snacks as a kid. I remember having to wear husky jeans at one point. Those snacks. Okay. All right. So anything else strange about this one, Thomas? Anything else strike you as strange?
I'm afraid to say no because something sounds like something strikes you as strange. Nothing else as far as strange. I am. It is interesting what the potential penalties could be, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's get to the charges, though. Yeah. So there was a warrant issued, one count each of second degree larceny and fraudulent claim of recipient benefits. Now he bonded out on a $10,000 non-surety bond, but oh man, I can't find my place where it listed out the potential penalties. You got it handy?
Well, the penalties. I was going to say I know about the potential for larceny, which larceny in the second degree is a felony.
Yeah, it is.
So that was the first part that just stuck out to me. I didn't even pay attention to anything else that was potential because of just the secondary larceny. So the secondary larceny, it's a Class C felony in Connecticut, which means if they want to, they can take away his license, his commercial driver's license. So they could basically force him to change careers if they really choose to. So I found that
Yeah.
interesting that is a felony.
Also, with a Class C felony, I found it can result in a prison sentence of anywhere from 1 to 10 years. Now, the fine may be up to $10,000 as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they have a lot of control over what the penalty is, but it's
Yeah.
interesting they're going after larceny in the second degree. That's a
Yeah.
that's a that's a pretty severe, penalty there. So it kind of makes you wonder if I hate to say it, but I kind of wonder if they're not using him as an example. Say, hey, this is not something we joke around with.
Look, cases sound like he got greedy and maybe coached by someone on YouTube University on how to make passive income, right? That is. Can you imagine how many people have actually gotten in trouble because they got their YouTube degree?
Yeah,
Like, seriously. Now, Gail is saying, I would add that if you work with a company that does this kind of in depth investigative work, then you need to hurt your neck somewhere else. Otherwise, your goose and the ATV is cooked. And you
yeah.
know, you've got to think that almost any warehouse job, they're going to have this type of either outsourced investigative unit, because I doubt it if most of them do it in-house nowadays, but it probably started in-house at most of them, right? But I know, right? Marcia said joke around and find out.
Exactly right.
she cleaned it up for LinkedIn, but you know, he really found out. He for sure found out because yeah, you're right though. If convicted of the felony, they probably will take. This is the thing that gets me though. I will say this: if I were a judge, I would not take his license away because there is a chance that some trucking company might hire him. But if you assign a penalty, a fine to it as well, then now you put him in a position where he can't even make money to pay it back.
Right.
Um, and I
Yeah.
think, there's one thing to have people pay for the crimes that they commit, but then it's another thing to put them in a position to where they might possibly commit another crime because they feel like the position they're in is so insurmountable. Um, but then also you want to make Frito-Lay, PepsiCo whole, and they may not be made whole if he can't make money.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of things to weigh there. Right. One thing that doesn't necessarily help him in the short term, but could help him in the longer term is Connecticut also has a clean slate law. And if you have a low level felony, which this is a low level felony, then it could be erased from his record over a period of time. So, on one hand, short term, he could be penalized for it. And yeah, it could really damage him short term, but it could go away to where long term it's not as negative for him. But he's definitely learning his lesson. I can say that for his alleged crimes.
Yeah. It's all alleged right now, and they're making a point to say this in all the news stories. Everything
Yeah.
is alleged until he's tried and tried and convicted, or tried and exonerated. So it is all alleged. But at this point, if he is injured, and maybe he just took some pills, some pain pills right before he went on the ATV ride, and that kind of, I would be real mad right about now. I'd have a real chip on my shoulder.
Oh, that needed one of those wah wah from your soundboard there.
I know, and I was looking for that sound, but I don't have it loaded right now. I really was gonna give myself the wah wah wah, but all I got is the.
Now, I am. It is curious that I haven't seen actually the word. Now, I haven't seen the word alleged actually in these articles. I've seen the charges are merely accusations. So it's interesting that they're saying that they're using that terminology. I've never seen that before. The charges are merely accusations, and then it goes through the normal defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But have you ever seen it
Oh yeah,
before?
I
Merely
know.
accusations.
In the one article, it's the word allegedly is used like three times. It says, yeah, he faces several charges after allegedly collecting 18,000 in benefits, and then another time it says the warrant alleges that he did blah blah blah. Then another time it says the these activities that Bishop allegedly performed while inconsistent with the physician's limitations. Sorry guys, I got a fruit fly in here. It's really bugging me. Um, but
But
yeah,
but then
yeah.
you go but then you go at the end of uh, that article there. It says prosecutors emphasize the charges are merely accusations. It's just I don't know. That just kind of caught me off guard whenever I read that at the end.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people have to do that because, well, and we have to do it too. But you don't want to face a defamation suit. You
Right.
don't want anyone to say you defame their character. But yeah, Kay is absolutely right. You're back against the wall, crime provoked by financial stresses. Something must have been going on. But see, and that's the other thing, though. Okay, with him lifting the heavy objects, I can kind of get that. Maybe he was trying to make extra money on the side, financial pressures. Driving the ATV, that was strictly for fun. Um, look, pay me a salary and tell me to sit at home. You don't have to tell me twice.
Isn't that what you do anyway?
Look, I would just get an AI to help me do my job.
Build it
I
up and
would
let it run for you.
Yeah, I would leverage the power of AI to help me audit better. And speaking of that, auditors, if you want to harness the power of AI to make your audits better, I think you should check out Audit Leverage. It is, in all seriousness, the first AI powered platform designed by auditors for auditors to help you audit better. We basically help you plan better, think deeper, and communicate clearer with your audit clients. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Audit Leverage, the AI-powered platform that is transforming how auditors work, brought to you by That Audit Guy. Auditing today isn't just about ticking boxes, it's about delivering insights, uncovering and evaluating risks, and adding real value. But too often, auditors are buried in tedious research, vague root cause assessments, and endless report revisions. Meet Audit Leverage, the AI-powered platform built to help auditors plan smarter, analyze deeper, and communicate clearer. Let's dive right in and take a look at some of our modules and tools. No more scattered spreadsheets or missing connections. The Risk Control and Audit Test Matrix presents the risks, maps them to controls, and aligns both with audit tests, so you can see the full picture in seconds. This is a powerful tool within our planning module. Simply enter your industry and the process you're auditing, and watch the magic happen, a risk matrix that you can actually use. You're likely excited about what Audit Leverage offers, but you might have some questions too. Visit our Help Center or reach out to our team.
All right, people. And let me also mention that, well, audit leverage is integrated within IA Stream. So, what's better than having an AI to help you with your audits? An AI that is embedded within your audit management platform.
Is embedded in there, and it is growing and improving almost daily right now. I'm having fun just watching Rob work and really build the sucker out. So yeah, it's you need to experience it. That's all I got to say. You need to experience audit leverage, especially being built into IA Stream. But it is a great tool. It's fun to play around with. It's helpful. It's a great tool, but it's also fun to just play around with just to see what kind of insights it can give you.
Yeah, I built this thing from the standpoint of an auditor. What would you need in the planning phase, the field work phase, and the reporting phase? And I here's the thing, since I'm not a huge organization and I don't have red tape and overhead, if I want to see something in it, I can create it. So now Gail is saying, so would I have called my auditors to come in and audit that employee situation? And if yes, what kind of things would they do? I'll be honest with you, most audit departments, that's something that we don't want to do. I mean, we could, but it would really entail surveilling the person. So you'd surveil them, you follow them, you take pictures, you take video, then you just turn in that evidence. And it really is kind of that simple. You'd have to make sure that there was appropriate context, though. Because, I mean, if he reached up one time while getting something and then you snapped a picture of that, but then left out the part where after he reached up, he was reaching for his back and hobbling away, that would be bad. So I think that there are people who do it for a living enough to know how much context to put in and how much to leave out. And there are enough companies out there that will charge a fee to really surveil them almost 24/7 for a certain period of time to put together enough evidence to present the case.
Yeah, this is one of those times where a subject matter expert is who you would want to call, right?
Yeah.
Having your employees go out, and you don't know the state of mind of the person that needs to be surveilled. You don't know if they're going to be hostile or something like that. So yeah, and to be completely clear and transparent, if you called me for my firm, say, hey, would you do this? I would say, no, that's not in my wheelhouse. I don't have those kind of subject matter experts. So yeah, like Rob said, bringing someone in from the outside that is experienced with this, in my opinion, would be the right way to go about it.
Now, I tell you what, I did have a situation. Now, you guys are going to trip out on this one. I had a situation one time where I was working for this organization. I'm trying to say this without giving everything away. I was working for this one organization, and we had some people from the maintenance crew come and tell us that individuals were taking the official company cars that should be used for maintenance off premises and using them just to go out on dates, to just, do whatever they wanted to do in their personal lives. And I was like, well, how can you prove that? And how do you know it wasn't in an official capacity? And so one of the workers, he was mad at the other worker because the other worker got shown favoritism and was taking the cars off. And so he followed the dude around and took pictures of him. And so one time he actually took a picture of the guy out on a date at a local restaurant. And so I said, well, this is all good, but how do we know this wasn't? It's okay. So it was another fellow employee too that he had taken out on a date. So I said, how do we know that this is not lunchtime and during business hours and all that other good stuff? So then I thought about it, and somebody on my team said, we can look at the metadata. And I was like, oh, you're
Yeah.
right. So we looked at the metadata within the photo, determined that it was after hours. We also determined that the location that it was at was so far away from our office that there's no way that they should have been over there. They were in an entirely different city. They went one city over. So in that one instance, we did turn that information in to human resources and to the gentleman's boss. And they actually did terminate him. There was a little bit more that went with it too, but yeah, we looked at the metadata within the photo, and
Yeah, and I had an instance where someone called me up that works for a transportation department, and yep, I completely agree with Marcia. And this transportation department, they were some of their fleet vehicles, they were worried were being checked or not being checked out properly. They did not have the proper processes in place and such. And they actually wanted someone to come in from the outside as an auditor and basically attempt to steal a car to see if you could just walk in and do it like what internal audit had been reporting on. I don't know what ended up coming up of that, but it was very interesting. But we also were talking about making sure insurance was in place, you know, in case you got in a car wreck, you make sure everything was documented in case the police were called, you know, some of those fine lines. So there was a lot of details that we were going through to make sure everybody was safe on a legal standpoint also.
Now, Kay brings up another point because I remember saying this at that particular workplace. She said, I wonder if unofficial licensed PI work is considered stalking. Might better leave it to the professionals. Yeah. Because, you know, they were asking me if I would do it. I was like, I don't want to do that. And so this guy decided to take these pictures on his own. And then he came back and, yeah, so all we did was look at the metadata. I'm not trying to follow somebody on a date to a restaurant. That does not make any sense. You know, no, thank you. But yeah, unofficial PI work. Only if I get to carry a gun, you know? All right. I think we've beat this one to death. Let's just say that the subject of today's story wasn't a chip off the old block, though.
I was waiting for you to try to tie something in. That was terrible, but yeah.
I know, but you know, I think the beauty in it is that it was so terrible. I knew it was going to be terrible. I didn't even plan for it today. But yeah, no, this one was really interesting because there's so much I think that is left unsaid, and I think there's going to be more coming out from this one because a lot of stuff doesn't make sense on the surface. Anyway, anything else you saw with this one, Thomas?
Yeah, nothing else with this one. It's there's a lot, like you said, that's unknown. But sorry, all of a sudden I'm getting messages in at the same time here. But no, I think this was pretty cut and dry. No pun intended. Yes, he always meets puns. What are you talking about?
I don't speak in puns a whole lot. Just occasionally, every once in a while. Sometimes. Well, all right, you guys. Thanks for joining us this week. You know what? If I do the story that I'm thinking about doing next week, you really want to tune in next week. Oh, man. I'll just leave it at that. So thank you for everyone who's joining. Tell all your friends about this podcast. Contribute some conversations in the chat. Huh? What?
I've got to interrupt you here. So it is March 14th here, and April 7th, you're going to be able to see Rob and I both and demo Audit Leverage and demo IA Stream all at the Houston IIA conference. And someone who is still on the intro of the show, Joe, is supposed to be one of the speakers that morning as well. So if you're here in Houston, try to come out, try to join us. You can talk to us at the booth. You can hear Joe speak. You don't have to worry about hearing Rob speak this time. So that's a nice change of pace. But but no, if you're here in Houston, April 7th, definitely try to meet the IIA conference here in Houston.
Ooh, and there will be prizes too.
Oh, there will be prizes. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm even bringing a giant spin the wheel to enter into some certain drawings. I'm not going to disclose what it all is yet, but yeah, we've got some great prizes, and you can see some of these new AI tools, and I can't wait to announce one of them, but I'm going to wait until Rob says yes until we announce that one. But we've got some stuff that's going to blow everybody away, I think.
You know what? I forgot all about this until Marsha just said it. And then I think Stephanie may have said it. It is Pi Day.
Yes, it is.
Forgot all about it. My favorite is blueberry or pecan. No, I'm just kidding. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Hey, what's happening, B? Bonita is here. Yeah. Wait, Thomas, do we want to wait? Did I just ask that already? The prizes. Do we want to say anything about a prize? We want to
let's wait a little bit longer before we announce the prizes.
Okay. We'll wait just a little bit. Just a little bit longer. Okay.
But
He's twisting my arm.
since we have a lot of people that pay attention to this show and listen to the podcast and stuff that are not in the Houston area, do we want to tell them where you and I both will be in July?
Ooh, you know what? Yep, let's do it. So July, for all of my audit friends, you know what's happening in July? There's this thing called the International Conference, and Thomas and I are going to be there. And this year, it is in Toronto, Canada. So if you want to see us, you can see us in Toronto, Canada. What is it? July the what's the date?
14th, I believe, 14th through 16th, if I remember correctly. Yep.
I think that's it. But yeah. So now Benita's in Canada, but not Toronto. So I think Marsha's in. Wait, Marsha, aren't you in Toronto? We'll have to meet up. We got a bunch of people that we're trying to meet up while we're up there. But I think Marsha's in Canada. I mean, in Toronto too, I believe.
And we're going to be there almost an entire week. So yeah, definitely hit us up to grab dinner, grab drinks, grab something. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, can you? No, you can't win a prize if you don't attend.
Someone used to give away stuff quite a bit on this show, and he hasn't done it in a while.
Yeah, yeah. Why is that? It's an administrative nightmare for me. That's why. You know what? Oh, while I'm here, since we're just rambling right now anyway, be on the lookout for the new thatauditguy.com website. We have a redesign that's real slick, and it's going to be the home of, well, most things That Audit Guy. So, get your Canadian goods at the duty-free store? Okay. All right. Cool. So, anyway, wait a minute now. Other prize is taxed as income. Ooh, you know what? Look, that's not on us to tell anyone whether they should claim.
I am not a tax accountant.
And if I were one, I'm not yours. All right, you guys. Thanks for your time and attention. And thanks for putting up with us for a whole hour. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully maybe learn one or two things along the way. And we will see you all next week.
Take care.